I believe my ex-husband, Bob, has lost his mind. When we retired, he began to get involved in the day trading. It was pretty much an obsession, 18 hours a day.
I lost a lot of money, didn't tell my wife about it. I thought I could make up for my losses.
Things were spiraling out of control. I went to charge something on a credit card, and the credit card was maxed out.
I had to tell her we lost everything.
We were broke. Our $1 million nest egg was gone. Bob became obsessed with making back that money. He would go online and find these women, and they would say they had a lot of money, but they couldn't get at it. And if he would just give them a little bit of money, then he would benefit with the larger amount of money once they got the money free.
Women ask for money for food, or they need medicine, or their mother needs medicine.
Basically, Bob was being scammed. I don't believe he had any idea of what was going on, and nobody could tell him different.
I probably lost in total about $50,000 to $75,000. I mean, when I say lost, it means I never met the women yet, and the money's gone.
After 40 years of marriage, I filed for divorce.
Since the divorce, I'm probably online 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. What I'm looking for is a woman that I could have a long-term relationship with, in fact, a marriage relationship with.
Robert needs help. In his mind, he's going to find a beautiful young woman, wealthy, who's going to share her fortune with him. They're going to ride off into the sunset, and maybe he'll send me something. He's just crazy.
Now Robert says he has not one, but a pool of several women who he texts several hours a day. He says he hopes one relationship will lead to marriage.
At this point, there's approximately a half dozen women that I have a strong interest in. This is Sophie Preston. I met her online about 2 years ago, and I've been talking to her ever since. Sophie lives in the Modesto area in California. Her father was Nigerian, her mother was American. She's a U.S. citizen, but she grew up in the United Kingdom, and she's a fashion designer. She could easily be my wife. Sophie is mute, and she was in an auto accident when she was like 10 or 12 years old. She lost her voice because of some damage, but that's repairable in the future. She just doesn't have the money to do the operation until she gets her inheritance. I've seen her passport, and I also talked to a friend of hers she went to school with in the United Kingdom, and I used that to help validate her. I've already sent Sophie about $10,000. The last time I sent her money was $1,000, and that was 2 days ago. She was supposed to send me a total of $50,000. And because I knew I was going to be here in California, I said, well, send some of it to here instead. And so I needed the address for the hotel, so I could then get delivery of that and then go cash the money order at Walmart or the post office. I have not seen any of it. This is April. We started to chat after she sent me an email. It was actually intended for somebody else, related to some packages that she didn't get delivered. But I said, well, wait a minute, are you single and unattached? And she says, yes, why would you ask? And she told me about herself, and we chatted for the rest of the day. April and I are engaged. I made a proposal to her, and that's on the table. Right now, she's not in the country.
He falls in love with everyone he meets. He's on Fiancé. 43 would be highly likely.
She's in the country of Tonga, which is a South Pacific island below the equator. She said, I dropped hot coffee on my computer. She was going to take her computer to a technician, but at that point, she didn't have the money to pay him to do it. Her company was willing to help, but they couldn't get her the money, so she convinced them to send the money to me to send on to her. They sent me $3,800, and I bought gift cards to send to her, because nowadays, an awful lot of money transactions are done that way. A lot of them are scams, though. The gift cards I sent her were Nordstrom, I believe. I think in her particular case, I don't think she is scamming me. There's another lady in which I was also romantically interested in, dating back about 2 years. This lady is Jane. Her and her daughter are now being held in captivity. I would call it a compound in Levittown, New York. Her uncle is the one doing this. She refers to him as Uncle Danny. He told me his name is Gonzalez. That the house she's lived in is a fortress that has security guards with guns and attack dogs. She befriended a maid working in the house, and the maid let her use her phone. Then I said, can you call up Google Maps on your phone and then have it give you your coordinates? She tried to do that, but she says, this phone just won't do it. She says $200 will upgrade this phone. And from there, I can get on Google Maps and I can be out of here. So she's asked me for the $200. I said, I'm going to the FBI. The FBI agent took the report down, and I said, yeah, it could be a scam. I mean, I admitted to him that was a possibility, but I told him why I didn't think so. And he said he would pass it on. That's the last I heard.
For a man who's supposed to be smart, he is dumber than most.
You're concerned that he's being scammed.
Yes, I am very concerned.
And you're sensitive to this, but you've got a system where you weed out whether someone's being scammed or not.
Well, I do my best, but it's often failure.